What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video because Liverpool representatives have flew over to the Netherlands to talk with Ryan Gravenbech's father. This has been confirmed by multiple newspapers and I'm really excited about this. The Times and the Daily Mail have confirmed this, and Gravenbech was one of Europe's most sought after players before he signed for Bayern Munich for 21 million last summer, but he hasn't been playing regularly. And also it has surfaced, there was a picture of Ryan Gravenbech in a Liverpool shirt where Liverpool have the Club World Cup trophy, the Club World Champions trophy, the badge on the shirt, and it was a Liverpool shirt and he's seen smiling with a Liverpool shirt on. And also he liked recently a comment on Instagram from Ryan Babel under a Liverpool account where Ryan Babel said that Ryan Gravenbech is a big talent and he would thrive under a manager who trusts him and believes in him. And Ryan Gravenbech liked that with his official Instagram account. So it's absolutely brilliant, and I'm really excited about this player because he could be available for as low a price of 25 million and he's only 20 years old. So in this video we will take a look at his whole career and what he could bring to Liverpool, and also all the details about this rumor and all the latest Liverpool news. And yesterday the results went somewhat in Liverpool's favor. Newcastle lost to Aston Villa 3-0. It was a really emphatic loss by Newcastle, so that knocks them a little bit, and this will be a big opportunity for Liverpool to get closer to Newcastle. But Brighton have beaten Chelsea. No surprise really, Brighton have been so much better than Chelsea this season, but still at Stamford Bridge in Frank Lampard's first home game, it's a really embarrassing, straightforward loss because Brighton totally outplayed and outclassed Chelsea. And also Brentford lost, and there has been some results going Liverpool's way. So hopefully Liverpool can take advantage of this Newcastle loss by winning against Leeds United. And frankly, Liverpool have to win all their games if they want to finish in the top four. I think 5th or 6th place would be a realistic target for Liverpool. And back to the Gravenbech story. So Jurgen Klopp is desperate to overhaul his midfield options, and he has confirmed that Liverpool have as many as 12 midfielders on their shortlist, and they will pick at least 3 of them to sign. And according to the Times newspaper, Gravenbech features prominently on Liverpool's list of midfield alternatives. But I want Gravenbech to be like the 3rd option. And we should sign 2 midfielders who are world class and who are better than Gravenbech. Because Gravenbech right now wouldn't be starting for Liverpool straight away. He would be probably in between the starting 11 and the substitutes bench, depending on fitness and form and everything. But there is a big talent in Gravenbech. So apparently a representative of Liverpool has met with the father of Gravenbech for talks. So they are talking in the Netherlands, and Gravenbech's father is seen as a mentor to Gravenbech and to Gravenbech's career. So he is basically acting as Gravenbech's agent. Gravenbech only made 1 start for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga this season, and he also played another 16 games off the bench. And Gravenbech has been tracked and scouted and monitored by Liverpool for a long time, even before he signed for Bayern Munich. And he was identified as a target prior to his switch from Ajax to Bayern last summer. Gravenbech has been forced to consider his future after having only played 711 minutes in 27 games for Bayern Munich. Gravenbech's most attractive feature, apart from his playmaking skills and that he's a really robust, big, strong box-to-box midfielder, is very athletic, not really injury prone. His price at 25 million, it's an absolute bargain for a player who has world-class talent in him. And if Liverpool could nurture and develop that talent, then the Gravenbech would be an absolute bargain for 25 million. Jonathan Northcroft, a very reliable journalist, does not claim that the transfer is anywhere near done, But Gravenbech is definitely on the shortlist, on the target list, especially because Bayern are not really keen on him. They haven't been really impressed with Gravenbech, but Bayern really have an absolutely world-class stacked midfield, and Liverpool have anything but a world-class midfield, anything but a stacked midfield. So there is definitely a lot of room in Liverpool's midfield for Gravenbech and a lot less room in Bayern Munich's midfield. And his former manager Erik ten Hag, who is now the manager of Manchester United, he has been regularly linked with Man United Gravenbech as well, because when he made his debut as a 16-year-old in 2018, Erik ten Hag gave Gravenbech his debut, and in 2022 this is what he said about Ryan Gravenbech. Ryan is a very young player, but he has already gained a lot of experience. He has already played over 100 games in the Eredivisie, he has played in the Champions League, he has been called up for the Dutch national team. Despite his young age, he has already experienced a lot. And above all, he has won titles. He is very important for our team because he's a box-to-box midfielder. He accelerates out of positional play. He does good dribbling. He has tremendous passing ability and participates in the build-up play. Due to his athleticism and physique, he's also strong in the transition game, and he can also win the ball. He has come a long way, but of course he can still learn a lot and improve and develop a lot. But I mean, when you have players like Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka ahead of you in the Bayern starting 11, they are already the finished article, ready world-class players playing at the peak of their careers. It's very hard to get a start in the Bayern Munich midfield, especially because the Bundesliga title race is so fierce. They have to win pretty much every game because Dortmund are hot on their heels, even though Dortmund got a 3-0 draw and Bayern Munich only got a 1-1 draw at home to Hoffenheim. Gravenbech was a substitute, and Gravenbech joined the Ajax Youth Academy in 2020. He worked his way up through the youth levels, and in 2018 he got an award recognizing the best talent in the Ajax Academy. And after he turned 18, he was basically an ever-present almost for Ajax. He played 47 games and then 42 games in last season and the season before, scoring 5 and 3 goals. This season, 27 games for Bayern. It sounds good, but only 1 start in the Bundesliga and 17 substitute appearances. He also played 11 times for the Netherlands national team, but he hasn't been called up for the World Cup probably because he hasn't been playing regularly at Bayern Munich. He also won 3 Eredivisie titles at Ajax, 2 Dutch Cups, and also he won the German Super Cup with Bayern Munich as well. And also, I didn't know this, he won the Euros with the Netherlands at under 17 level, but that's still an international trophy, so that's very, very good. And Gravenbech is a quite tall, 6'2" tall, that's like 185 centimeters tall, and this allows him to hold his own physically, but he also is very agile and he's quick with his feet. He operates in a double pivot on the left side sometimes, and he's an all-rounder in regards to his movement. He looks to help out in the build-up phase, often dropping into the back line to create a numerical advantage, and he sometimes receives the ball on the half turn and he looks to drive the ball forward. He also looks to advance forward, particularly towards the left wing, where he can lick up play in the final third. He's a very good progressive passer of the ball. He often looks to break lines with his passing, and whether that be from deeper areas or looking to move into the final third. And he is very brave in possession. He's not afraid to fire a ball into central areas when the opposition is in a settled shape. This is because he trusts his own and his teammates' abilities. Gravenbech also has a good long passing attribute as well. He has a solid technique and also scans before receiving the ball, so he scans the pitch like all the best midfielders do. So he will often see if there is a long pass on before even getting the ball. And what I really like about Gravenbech is sometimes he gets the ball in the deep area and he can roll his opponent and then race past him, and that creates numerical advantage for his team in the opposition half of the pitch. So what do you think about Ryan Gravenbech? Do you like him as a player? Do you think Liverpool should sign him for 25 million? I think for 25 million that represents a decent value for money, and it's a relatively low risk transfer. Of course, there is still a risk. For example, Arthur Melo for 4 million. it was an even lower risk loan deal. But because he's on 100k per week and he hasn't played apart from 19 minutes for Liverpool, it has been a disaster, but it hasn't wrecked Liverpool financially. Talking about finances, I have to circle back and talk about the owners as well, but first type in your comments during listening to this video. Type in what do you think about Ryan Gravenbech. So the owners suddenly briefing Liverpool journalists that Liverpool consider Bellingham's price too high is a spineless U-turn by the owners, because we always knew that Bellingham was expensive, but the owners banked on Jurgen Klopp achieving another miracle and getting top 4, and even in January we withheld on signing a midfielder because we expected Liverpool to make the top 4. And how wrong were the owners that they just expect Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp to perform miracles without proper funding in the midfield area, because the only significant midfield addition in the past 4 years was Thiago, and that's an absolute disgrace. Sure, money has still been spent, but nowhere near enough compared to the Liverpool's rivals in the league. If we want to keep up with our rivals, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal, and now even Brighton and Newcastle are Liverpool's rivals in the league, we have to absolutely spend more net spend, because 25-30 million per year just doesn't cut it anymore. And all this Bellingham news has done is essentially show that FSG, the owners, are willing to throw away a whole season in order to pursue a player, and in the end you end up empty-handed. You end up conceding that Bellingham's price is too much. And also it probably didn't help that Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool journalists openly courted Bellingham, and it has been going on for 1.5, 2 years. I'm not sure when I made the first Bellingham video linking him to Liverpool, but it must be 1.5, 2 years ago. And Liverpool have courted him for years now, and that always raises the price of the player. And yes, it's logical if Liverpool sign 4 or 5 brilliant top players instead of 1 or 2, and what that 1 or 2 is Bellingham and another. It makes more sense, but the fact that Liverpool fans have been taken for such a ride by the owners is really disappointing, and it's like a punch in the gut for Liverpool fans when it broke that we have pulled out of the race. Liverpool have gone from being the most seamlessly and well-run club to a laughing stock, and it simply must change this summer. We have to get back to what we do best, is that we get our deals done early and efficiently, and we sign the right kind of players for the right amount of money, and that Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp can develop into world-class players. And Gravenbech would be good if he's only one of 3 midfielders, and the other 2 needs to be 24, 25, 26-year-old world-class midfielders who are at the peak of their power. So Mason Mount and maybe Declan Rice or somebody like that, who can walk into the Liverpool starting lineup, because we don't want to rely on Harvey Elliott, Bajcetic, Gravenbech, who are all teenagers or 20 years old. We don't want to rely on too many of those kind of players. The biggest concern with Ryan Gravenbech, and I have to mention it to give you guys a well-rounded analysis of the player, is that his work rate was a concern at Ajax. Some Ajax fans didn't really like the work rate of Gravenbech, that he doesn't run as hard and doesn't work as hard as he should be sometimes. And also at Bayern Munich sometimes there has been rumors that he hasn't started more games because of his work rate. The manager Nagelsmann was concerned about Gravenbech's work rate, how much he tracks back, how much he presses. In this Liverpool team, it's an absolute minimum requirement that you have the highest work rate possible, so that's a concern. But he's only 20 years old, so we should give him a benefit of the doubt that Jurgen Klopp can mold him into a really hard-working player and a really hard-working midfielder who presses a lot. But let me know what they think in the comments below, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.